This is John with StrikerAuto.com, here today to show you how to install LED spotlights on the front of your Jeep Cherokee. We got a 94 Cherokee Sport here. We're putting LED spotlights on. So as you can see on the front bumper here, it's got an aftermarket winch bumper. And all we did is we drilled two 3/8 inch holes right there. And then the bolt goes on through the bottom of the mount here. And then it just sits nicely in that hole, and then we're going to go in from underneath here and bolt it up, and then we're going to put another one on this side over here, and then next we'll show you how to connect these connectors and run your wiring harness. Now you can see it's mounted all the way on there. It holds the washer underneath with lock channels for it, and then we just went in through this compartment to hold the back side. And then now we're going to do it to the same side. We're going to drill a hole. Make sure you measure it so that it's symmetrical with the other one. And then word to the wise, there's two angle adjustment screws here. So you can tighten the other one good and tight, because as you see here, we're not going to have access. So we'll leave that one kind of tight, and then this one is the one we're really going to crank down when we get it set to where we want it. Alright, so now we got the lights mounted on both sides. We got the wiring harness, and you got the two ends that look like that right there. So what he's going to do is he's going to run it down through a nice hole where there's nothing moving, nothing too hot. Run it down through there, and then he's going to grab it over here. And just pull nice and gently. Now he's got both of them run through, and then just pull both of them together nice and gently to get your wires long enough. And then they only plug in one way, so you can't get it wrong. And push till you hear a click. And then that side's set. And do the same on this side over here. You got a click. Alright. Now, before we hook everything else, or zip tie everything up and secure it, just kind of loosely you're going to wire the rest of the car here. And then test it, and then we'll zip tie everything up nice and secure. Alright, so now we got them connected up to the battery, and here you have the relay. Alright, so out of the relay you have four wires coming out. You got this wire here, and this wire goes to the battery. These two wires go over to the front to the connectors we put on both here and there, and then the fourth wire goes up and around over to the switch, which is over here. And so what you can do is you can disconnect it here, or you can just cut the wires and put new terminals on to run them through the firewall. So again, when you're done, like all this wire over here, we're going to want to bunch it up in a nice group, and then zip tie it, and then zip tie it to the handle or somewhere secure, so that when you're driving around it doesn't get caught on stuff and get messed up. And then another thing you want to do here before you run the wires through the firewall and everything, so we got the wires kind of sitting loosely in the engine bay here, is you want to take the switch and turn it on to make sure that your lights work. And as you can see, they work. So now that we know they work, we can run this up through the firewall, and you're probably going to want some kind of one of these black grommets here. Sometimes you can run them through there, so you don't have to drill new holes. You can find, if you find a big one like this, you can try and see if you can get around it. Otherwise, just get down, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. Just as long as it's not on sharp metal that's going to cut through the wires and short circuit them. Alright, so we found a hole in the firewall there. You can see up there. So what we're going to do to make it a little bit bigger and do it the right way is we're going to take what's called the step bit. It looks like this. So as you drill in, the hole gets bigger. And then once we make the hole bigger, we're going to put a rubber grommet in there. And all a rubber grommet is like these black things around the wires here. And it's basically a rubber shield between the wires and the metal, so it's not rubbing and it doesn't wear through over time. And it helps give it a nice waterproof seal, and it doesn't, and helps against rusting in the metal of the car. So we're going to drill that open here, and then we'll be back with you in a minute. So these are rubber grommets here. You can buy them in a kit. I bought this kit at Harbor Freight for $5 or something. So we're going to take the step bit that we showed you. We're going to drill that hole there, and here's the step bit on the end of the drill. And you're just going to go in at a nice angle. When you're running the wires through the firewall, you want to make sure that you disconnect the switches or the wire that's you're running through from the power, because if it touches metal, it'll spark and short circuit something on you. So just make sure you've disconnected it, and then once you run it through, you'll have it out on this side here. And you connect your little spade connectors to the switch, and you're good to go. Alright, now that we got everything hooked up and run through the firewall and stuff, we can start grouping up the wires to zip tie up all the excess. And you're just going to take a zip tie. And then trim off the excess. Zip tie, not wires. And then anywhere you can find to stick them down and out of the way, the better. And then that's all there is to it. Now you got the lights mounted on the front. You got the wires up, run around, and into the engine compartment, or into the compartment of the car through the firewall. And then you're going to want to take the this wire here, and you're going to want to zip tie it up along these wires running along the cab here. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video on installing LED spotlights on the front of Jeep Cherokees. Please visit our website at strikerauto.com, where you'll find a full selection of off-road LED lighting.